Yeah, Petro. That's why I'm actually that's why I'm actually in Yemen right now. It's kind of fascinating. Well, it doesn't look like Yemen should have much of a carrying capacity, but in fact, you know you have roughly 232 kilometers of rivers. Um, a lot of it's dammed up and used for irrigation around Sanaa. And so you can see down here, all you have is dried up riverbeds, which only come during the wet season. Oh, hello everybody. But yeah, I'm actually checking because I had someone offer a little script that they wrote. They were working on a new distance calculation tool. Someone from the forums. Distance calculation tool. Not sure how that's gonna work out. But what he also did was he made a little script to capture all of the provinces with rivers in them, and so that opened up the possibility of making a canal construction system much easier if I decided to go that way. So I'm looking at Yemen, canal and damming system. So I'm looking at Yemen, and I'm thinking their rivers are actually a little too small, because I know they constructed dams all the way up around Sanaa. So I was just thinking. And hello, John. Anyway, I've been working on my Gaming Rebellion stuff, getting a Twitch page set up, dusting off my Twitter account, things like that. Oh, Banarasu is pretty big. Oh, that's cool, John. Hey, Lewis. So again, I'm going to be doing some more modding, I'm sure, which will disappoint some people that want to watch me play. But I feel like I really need to make some progress. Let's see. So last time, for anyone that was watching my last stream, I was trying to add an unrest penalty to the privilege costs. Yeah, Petreo. Mamluks have issues. Actually, let's check Mamluks right now. The first and most obvious problem is that Banu Rasu is actually quite powerful. Obviously not as powerful as the Mamluks, but let's take a look. You can see they have good damn manpower. They're a very tight country. They have damn good income. High control by the state. Thanks, Hannah. And so you can see how they're actually, if anyone were ideally poised to conquer the Mamluks, the Mamluks have to walk across lots of desert to get to them, and so pretty powerful country actually. That'd be a fun game to play, because as you can see, I guess we can't. Yeah, this doesn't show the This doesn't show the new trade nodes, but you know, there's going to be a new trade node which is pretty much dominated by Aden. So it'd be fun to play the Yemen and kind of play a trade game where you dominate the regional trade. Oh, you are the moderator, yeah. Let's take a look at Mamluks real quick. Might be a bad idea, or a bad example at the moment. Mamluks, their big issue is the AI does not seem to want to pay off its damn debts. Can't figure out why. You can see they're making plenty of income. They're not broke. They should be able to pay this off, no problem whatsoever. Anyway, what would be interesting is if we actually had an interaction that allowed them to pay off debt. Yeah, we needed moderators, Luis, just to keep track of the people that are trolling and everything. Keep things civil and on track. All right, so I need to clean up the last bit of stuff related to the unrest. So if you guys recall, there, let me show you. Let's see. Where did I put that event? Global AI decisions should be pop estate events. Startup events. Let me clear this up a bit so we're not so crowded. Shifting startup population estates. Shouldn't need this right here. Oh, might as well open it. Events, top, estate events. Okay. So let's test the unrest thing that I made. Let's go to England and give them a, it's not good England. I think I already hit them with something. Let's go to Poland. And then this little event is going to push them past the threshold of when the estates demands privileges. And then if we fire this event, it should then make all of the privilege demand events fire. They don't have burgers, so whoops. So obviously, I guess their burgers aren't sufficiently strong to demand anything. So. Okay, so wow, that's it. Really? That can't be right. That cannot be right. Dagnammit, did not want to bug right now. I mean, it could be right. They could have just rolled absolutely the best they possibly could. Whatever. Let's try again. And there goes another sleep. Hey, David Bunk. Good to see you again. Hey, Magpie. All right, let's try this again. Better, not much better. Okay, but it seems to be working. Okay, good. You can see 3 loyalty to the greater nobles, lose 15 legitimacy, lose 10 prestige, 25% chance of stability loss. Every province controlled by greater nobles will gain +5 unrest for 10 years. +3 unrest for 10 years. Okay. Right, let's head to Lithuania and ruin them too. Oops. Oops, I do not have enough stability to be doing this. Alright, so if you don't have enough stability, then you automatically have to accept. So I gave them some stability. I'm making their state super mad with a little event that I made. And now they demand stuff. Huh. That shouldn't happen. Okay, so they shouldn't be getting... You see there's down there, there's 2 unrest modifiers simultaneously. Seems like the stability pane is not anywhere near where it should be. There should be a... Yeah, Luis, yeah. I agree. Degratia is a great concept, and it was as good as it could be 2.5 years ago, given the tools that we had. But so much has changed that there could be so many improvements. I'd love to dig into it myself, but one of the issues is the sheer volume of events that are involved. And the idea of revising all of those is pretty overwhelming. So it's hard to tell. Okay, let's figure out. Seems like there's never much stability pane that's being dished out. So let's check that first. Random hit. Okay, so the average stability hit is 75. And then that gets multiplied by GN privilege pane modifier, which gets calculated up here. And the more, basically the way the privilege pane modifier works is that the way the event works in general is you'll notice that, there's always random stuff, random penalties that pop up. Well, those get determined in a random list. And then the magnitude of the pane that gets dished out for each of these that get flagged, that's determined in the next part of the event here. See? Then the magnitude of the pane gets multiplied. And then, so that it doesn't get out of hands, each time one of these is selected, the magnitude of the pane for each one gets diminished by a little bit, so it can't get out of hands. Huh. Isaac. You'd probably get more help on the forums. Yeah, and Tommy, if you go to the forums here, there's a download thread. And we're still technically kind of in beta, so I mean it's still playable. It's got a few issues, but it's going to continue to have issues even after we release. But it's plenty of fun. Okay, so I'm going to keep firing. I'm going to keep accepting these just so I don't get hit so hard. Yeah, promote all day long. I'm going to see if I can get some actual stability pane above 25%. Because that may be the issue. Some people are finding it too easy to resist. Yeah, okay, so now you can see +3 local unrest, +5 local unrest, +8 local unrest. Some kind of flag is not being deleted. So let's put stability on ice for a moment. And that does seem to be a problem with lesser nobles too. So these flags are not being deleted when they should. So let me copy this. So they need to be deleted. I see. Okay, so they need to be deleted regardless of which option you click. I think what's been happening is I've been clicking one option and it doesn't delete the flag, so then when it comes time to decide which one to get, it says if has country flag number 2, then give modifier. If has number 3, give modifier. If has number 4, give modifier. I haven't been deleting the modifiers, and so therefore it's just thinking that it needs to assign every single one. When each time it's only supposed to do one. So I need to delete all of those. Although it should CLR country flag should be deleting them here if you select the resist option. The question is, okay, doesn't do it up here. So let's add in a hidden effect, which will, delete those flags. All right, if you select this option. If you select this option down here, it will also delete the flag. Okay. Now we got to do those with the other options as well. Okay. Let's see here. Option concede. And this has to be lesser nobles. Oops. And it should delete properly here. LN unrest, LN unrest, yes. Okay, now we do it for the burgers. If we resist, we already delete there, I think. And then if we concede, BG, oops, BG. All right, let's test it. Well, while we're at it, before we test that, let's also check that stability issue. I really want resisting to hit harder on stability from time to time. And with, I mean, with 49% influence, they should not be getting the same stability hit as lesser nobles, which leads me to believe something is not right there. So, stability hit, okay. GN stability hit, multiply by privilege pain modifier. All right, so this is what we do. I haven't cleaned out any of the variables yet, so we're going to go ahead and open up a saved game, check Lithuania, and we're going to go down to all those privilege variables that we set. First off, we're going to make sure, so we're going to look here, we're going to look at each of the variables that get calculated. Stability hits. Stability hit, okay. So we already see something that's really quite a bit of an aberration, 2.4, yet the base value is 20. So what is going on there? Um, privilege pane modifier. Privilege pane modifier. Huh. I do not see a GN privilege pane modifier. GN privilege pane modifier. I mean, okay, so it reduces the check by, okay, so if it's 30, reduces it by half and then half again. That should still be in the 7 territory, which is, all right, so there's no way even with the worst case scenario that it would get that low. So something is driving it really low. Let's look up this is the scripted effect that determines how much stability that you lose. Right, so it takes the variable that gets calculated, and then it refers to this index here, and then it decides how much stability that you lose. See? Question is, why does it end up so low? Privilege. Okay, I'm gonna check see what you guys are talking about here. Ooh, conversation is going. Yeah, Hannah, we were. I mean, there's famine and stuff like that, but not yet natural disasters of that are rigorously tied into pop. Just Jason, full steam. Someone probably answered already, but yeah, mid-June. Yeah. Yeah, and Jilikatakaka 13. Mod is like 10 years old, but just had a recent major iteration, so it's gotten a bit of a profile raising experience recently. Yeah, Lord of Gaming. Well, some people have found it too easy, but I think, I mean, the stability aspect is broken. It may be a recent issue, the fact that it's broken. But I mean, some people are rather easily driving their privileges to 0 consistently, and that simply should not be a viable or economical strategy. So that irritates me. So I gotta fix that. Yeah, thanks, Hannah. Son of a bitch. Okay, I'm gonna try this. I think I know what could theoretically be a problem. I think what might be the problem is these two events might be firing at the same time and stunting each other, right? Because the lesser noble and the greater noble events both fire, and then some of the syntax is the same. I don't see how that can make a difference, though. I don't see how that can make a difference. Hey, that guy from high school. let's try this again. It's not a problem, it's a minor bug fix. It's someone on the forum identified. I've not had a dev comment that it will be fixed, so I just like to send a PR contact to a dev. What mistake are you talking about, Gold Mattress? This is a bug fix thread, so, or bug fix stream, so. Let's see. Yeah, I agree, Lord of Gaming. There's supposed to be some resistance to it. But if stability hasn't been working properly, because that's supposed to... What the... Did I break something? Oh boy. Did I break something? I hope not. Maybe just a freak accident, freak crash. It may have even been my fault. I may have fiddled with it, not anticipating that I should commit it, and I think I might have committed it by accident. It's something that can easily be changed in the static modifiers. You just go down to core and non-core, and then you just can switch it. Yeah, that'll make expansion practically impossible because you can't core if you don't have low enough unrest. And of course, you can't get low enough unrest unless you core. So it's kind of chicken or an egg situation. Yeah, it is. Sorry. I'm sorry, Gold Mattress. Yeah. You know, I bet even if we check now, let's see, Ottomans, do you have a core here? You do. Where's an example of someone who has a core? Has a claim, not a core. Yeah, so it looks like it's already fixed. Yep, non-core. Yeah, Luis, maybe we can let's do that. Let's take a look at the... You're asking how long does it take for the martial law modifier to go away? The answer is just 5 years tops, but it can feel like a long time. All right, so let's recently acquired. Let's adjust that localization. A recently acquired, and then we'll make it more descriptive. Okay. Blah 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 blah. Oops. Yeah. Okay. /n/n. The communication efficiency. The martial law modifier will be removed when the communication efficiency recalculated once every 5 years. Communication efficiency is, let's see. I'm sorry for asking if this has already been addressed, but I was wondering if you can put a date telling when the CE pending modifier will be removed. Not possible. So the main reason that guy from high school, the main reason you can't do that is because for really, really convoluted reasons. So we're using a hack. We don't have a distance calculation tool with our mod tools, but we found a way to hack the engine so that we can. And the problem is that the hack blows up the game if too many calculations happen at once. And so we had to spread every calculation for every country out at semi-random intervals between 1 and 8 years. It gets complicated. And so there's no reliable way to know when the modifier will be taken out, which is annoying. The good news, though, is that if we get a proper distance calculation tool, then these kinds of issues will go away, because then we can just recalculate every year. I know, it sounds crazy, but yeah, or you can just dispatch your runners. That'll solve the problem too. Right, you can see with your bureaucracy, you can dispatch runners. Dispatch runners. See? It just costs a small little bit, and it'll recalculate your efficiency instantly. Yeah, it wouldn't really be fair, David. You know, it'd be a special player bonus. And no, Hannah, no AIs to help check for bugs. Yeah, Gold Mattress, don't know about the distance calc thing. We've got another guy in the forums who made the distance calculation tool, but it's. I kind of burned 3 hours this morning trying to get it to work, but it caused a lot of problems. So. Yeah, we could do that dispatch runners thing. Will be removed when communication efficiencies are counted. Or you can dispatch runners from the state interactions in the state menu. Ta-da! Good idea. What was I doing? Oh yeah. Okay, so we have pretty powerful nobles here. So let's see what happens when we fire this event. What the hell is going on here? All our calculations are totally blowing up morale of armies. No, that just has to be a typo right there. Wow. Alright. Finding lots of little bugs. Alright, squashy, squashy, squashy. Resist, here we go. GN hit to military. Let's look up the scripted effect. This is the scripted effect which assigns the military malice. Yeah, dispatching runners causes issues, especially if you're like a gigantor country. What bug are you talking about? The 90% is a known bug, David Bunk? Oh, that one. Okay. Okay, so it's gonna be here somewhere. It's gotta be pretty uncommon, because there's 10 tiers of modifiers. So it's kind of, it's one of those, must be because my armies.com. State modifiers. 8, 9. Well, where the hell? Oh, yeah, I see. Oh, wow, so there's a bunch of them that were screwy. Ouch. Brutal. Woo! I think, yeah, shouldn't be 10% right off the bat. It should be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, dispatch runners is, if you don't watch it in the trade map mode, it's much less likely that it'll crash you. Someone's talking to me. Okay, so now let's go ahead and look at see if we screwed anything else up, huh? See if we screwed it up for the lesser nobles too, and we did. Awesome. Or did we? No, we didn't. No, it should be fine. Army tradition. No, it should be okay. Commercial havoc. All right, that's all good. Alright, so we fixed that bug. Now what was the other bug we were trying to fix? Oh yeah, we were trying to fix stability. If we can get the stability on the fire. We can also check to see if we have the unrest issue too. I don't want to accept. We just failing to get any stability at all now? What the? Why am I not? Okay. Welcome again to the joys of bug fixing. Let's see. Kaldar, this, when you say this, where would you do that? If you use the filter .text.luau when you search different files, search is a lot faster. When you have a ton of land that needs an update. Yeah, well, or you could, just have to deal with what the AI has to deal with, which is oh, I see. Oops. Yeah, Hannah, I know how to code. And Gold Mattress using custom paradox scripts right here for the highlighting of the syntax. Okay, thanks for that advice, Kaldar. Luis, you shouldn't be risking anything that I know of. Admiral failed my Java classes twice. Yeah, I bombed my coding classes in high school, and I used to be pretty awful at it until I started enjoying it. Okay, so why? Let's see, what did I change about the stability? I may just be getting unlucky. Lucky over and over and over again. Keep getting +3 level Unrest. Something is not adding up here. Oh, well there it is, and now it's working. Alright, so I guess I just got really lucky over and over again. Alright, well it seems to be working. Let me go and make Aragon's life miserable too. So theoretically, I guess I just need to make sure these do not fire at the same time. I don't know what to do. I'm going to accept and then see if I get doubles again, just to make sure that the change I made is working properly. No doubles. I'll accept again. Okay, stability hit, unrest. Okay, everything seems to be working. Woo, man, that's painful. 5 loyalty, 15 legitimacy, 5 prestige, 1 stability, 26 military points, 14 autonomy, and unrest. Okay. Yeah, Hannah, I would. It's you say I should teach myself to code. It seems very practical. It is. It's like a second kind of literacy. I mean, you can use it for anything. It's the universal skill. I mean, obviously, specific programming languages often have fairly narrow purposes, but coding is it's like literacy. It's like being able to read and write well. It's a universal skill that that heightens and augments everything else you do. When I was first, introduced in biology, with the statistical analysis software that we had to know some programming, had to do some modeling, but then, I'm also doing game stuff with it too, and there's so much more web design, and definitely give it a try. Too busy playing Skyrim playing, yeah. Yeah, Frederick the Great, that takes some coding classes. The thing is, I would, if I had taken a coding class, I would have. Well, I did take a coding class. If I had passed a coding class, I basically, I didn't fail it, but it was, I got like a C or something, but obviously learned absolutely nothing. Um, some things in school some things are better just to learn yourself, because school can suck the joy out of things. And I know people that have computer science degrees that have barely coded like a day in their life. Anyway. All right. So I guess we're good on stability. What we may want to do is try to make sure that we don't have these events conceivably piling up on each other. So for instance, let's make it fire for everybody. We don't want this. This is statistically improbable, but it is possible. And if it happens, you can see it ruins, or maybe it doesn't. Huh. I guess it doesn't ruin the stability. Or does it? Yeah, it makes it uniform for all of them. So it breaks it. And there goes their stability. So what we're going to need to do is, let's see here. Let's fix this. How do we fix it? We can make it, we can add even more stochasticity to it. And we can, I think I know, go up to the place where it fires, right here. And then we add a random listing. This actually is something we should have. So let's say 20%. We'll have 5 of these doodads. And days equals 2. And then we'll make a whole bunch of these. Right, so there's a 25% chance it'll fire at 2 days, 20% chance at 5 days, 20% chance at 10 days, 20% chance at 15, 20% chance at 20. And so they won't, not only will they not all cluster around the census event that fires here, but it'll also break up the possibility that all the various events fire at the same time, right? So there we go, and then oops, and we just do this again for the burgers, and we're in business. I think we're done with all this unrest stuff. See how much of a pain in the ass it was to add an unrest to these interactions here? Okay, let's see what everybody's saying. Gonna pick up coding for dummies and start from there. Could be a good hobby, or you could start hobbing, or you could start modding, Hannah. If you're going to bed, we'll see ya. Hey Demian, have you made the Ottomans less aggressive? They are less aggressive now, yeah. Yeah, the Romans no longer have that malice, so they're harder to bring down. Well, actually, here. Let's run a sample game. Now that we've done the whole unrest thing, I'm going to have to start working on the AI again. Might be a good idea to start a fresh game, just so we have a good baseline. Ottomans had some of their bonuses reverted. They don't really have any bonuses, but they what am I trying to say? The bugs that were advantageous for them. They were declaring war like on the first day, and they weren't allowed to. It was an old relic piece of code that we hadn't removed. so let's go into observer mode. So now everyone's just gonna do their calculations and stand around for a while. One of the reasons that that the Ottomans were attacking so soon early on is they have this weird thing where they were disbanding a lot of their troops, which was really stupid. I don't know why they did that. But if they didn't declare a war soon, then they would like disband half their troops. Let's see. Okay. It looks like they don't now, so good for them. Not necessary. Curious how the Mamluks will do now. Oh, trade nodes. See, Yemen's got their own nifty trade node. It's cool. It's in the Gulf of Aden, so they kind of have a chunk of Somalia too. It'll be fun to play. The problem is it's mostly an out trade node rather than an in trade node. It's kind of annoying. Ottomans are still obviously going to be aggressive because they need to conceivably hit their historical magnitude. They did have a rather unexpected unfair buff where they were given 100 military tradition at game start, and I don't even know how that happened. So that was giving them a pretty significant buff, in excess of really what they even needed. Okay, so another year they should be going to war since I think 1359 is when you're allowed to go to war. I think. It looks like the Venetians got their asses kicked. Shouldn't have. They're not that weak. What do you mean by EveBot? Do you plan on making this mod R and W compatible sometime in the near future? R and W. Roger. Not sure what that stands for. Checking in on the Castilian Civil War. Oh, random new world. That's a whole another problem, man. Yeah, random new world. There's a lot of issues with that. It doesn't have anything really to do with us necessarily. I don't think there's any plans though. And if you ask Paradox, they'll even that's one of the big things they'll say they failed to implement. Yeah, I know. Seriously, Luis. Huh. Ottoman should definitely be doing something right now. Why aren't they doing something? What does the alliance situation look like? Now they're being too passive. They're surrounded by juicy targets. Why is nothing happening? What changed since my last game? Is everyone just standing around at the moment? It's 1360. You gonna do something, guys? Yeah. Guess it just took you a while. Yeah, make sure you let the Germians loot everything. God, I love the AI, don't you? Like, hey, why don't I not attack them with my 10 stack and stack wipe them? Why don't I just let them siege down my cities and loot everything? I will attack them with my not complete stack, though. Because why not? Yeah, colonization will be different, Bryce. It's going to take a while. There's a whole bunch of stuff wrong with colonization at the moment, CUB. Mainly, it's anything that hasn't been adjusted to conform to conform to pop is considered to be, not properly integrated. So there really hasn't been much work done on it at all. Okay, Ottomans. Okay, there you go. Good. Do your thing. Alright, so they're doing their thing, just not quite as rapid fire as before. Probably take a look at it later again. It's working wonky. It's not completely broken. It's just there's lots of things that need to be done to make colonization live up to what it's meant to be, what it's supposed to be. There we go. There we go with our chain reaction. Boom. There you go. Well, that was weird. Was the war value for stack wiping him that powerful? Sheesh. Trezevant's pretty good. Trezevant lasts longer than the Romans usually. And they did historically. It's kind of funny. The rump state lasted longer than the actual Byzantine Empire. You know what? I think KJ might have actually made an event. To emulate the historical piece or something like that was made. Oh yes, part of that. Yeah, I think you're right. I think KJ did write that event because I think what would happen is one of two things would happen. The Ottomans would siege and successfully capture Constantinople, but then not capture it, and so instead would raze it to the ground, or the war would go on and on and on and on and on. Mainly because the AI doesn't really know how to handle sieges properly. They'll leave an incomplete stack of troops on top, thinking that they're sieging it down, but then they'll stand there for 10 or 15 years. I don't think the Bulgaria conquest is evented though. I think they just are able to take most of it just with their peace treaty. 50 years. It took them 50 years to conquer most of the Balkans. Anyway, okay, so we don't have to watch them as much anymore. Let's figure out what we're doing with our AI now. Oops. Okay. All right. Yeah, there will be changes to client states and subjects. Not entirely sure what or when, but we'll see. I know something Gigal wanted to work on. Okay. So I gotta remember, I've been working on so many other bugs, I gotta remember what I was doing with the AI. So we're working on emotions. We're working on training AI to revoke and bestow privileges. Okay, let's see. Okay, emotions and global decisions. All right. Let's stick this over here for a while. All right. Emotion should be good. Or a no. Policies where they're decentralized. It should be the neck of the woods we're looking for. Deciding which estates to revoke from. Okay. So right, we had decision making here to decide whether to fight corruption at all. And then if it meets this threshold, then we decide to go ahead and revoke a privilege or fight corruption or whatever. But then it has to decide whether to revoke from greater nobles, lesser nobles, or burghers. And if the weight share, or aka influence, is high, the AI will be more reluctant to revoke from that estate. If the privilege is if the privilege level is high, though, if there's lots of privileges with that estate, they'll be more likely to revoke. And then there's a bit of a random seed here too. And so if there is, for instance, yes, the AI will be more than happy to beat up on, say, the lesser nobles with their, that's a lot of levies there, with their crappy privileges, and much less likely to revoke from the greater nobles. Actually, no. No, they'll want to revoke privileges from the greater nobles, but they have more influence, and so it's kind of a tug of war. Okay. All right. Oops. I want to go back into observer mode. Why is your okay? Okay. All right. All right, so we got past that part. And then these are the revocation events. And currently, which one they revoke is random because it would take a whole other AI training thing that would be involved there. So right now I'm making it random. Neoliner, that's something that needs to be done. Does the AI deliberately raise loyalty of estates with money gifts to demote greater nobles to make revoking easier? So the idea is that's why we give them emotions, right? So that we can train them properly to know like the type of direction that they need to go in. Yeah, Yazine, we're gonna try and get that estate dynamic in eventually. As you, I mean, you can see the amount of work that goes into it already. So it's making anything like that, it takes a considerable amount of effort and thought. Hey, Saurav. All right. Decision making section determining whether to hand out privileges. All right, so this is the part about handing out privileges. I'm not sure if I sufficiently tested this one or not. What I should do, is monitor. I'm gonna monitor their privileges. So they have like two that start out pretty uncorrupt. Granada is a fun place to play. Best way to learn new mechanics is probably like Florence, Flanders, like a relatively highly developed place. And Granada is a highly developed place, so there you go. One of two places. So if you want to learn mechanics, go someplace that already has a lot of development, like Granada, Genoa, Florence, Venice. Or pick some place that is moderately to low development but is relatively safe, so you can build up your economy. So, Kingdom of Naples, for instance, is a good place. Half-Cids would be a good place. Poland's, Bohemia. Scandinavia is pretty easy to unite, so you could play like Sweden or Denmark. Scotland, if you have a strategy for not getting rolled by England's. So that's my recommendation. Uh, 50 plus loyalty loss all at once should not be possible. Can you get the ID for that event? Neoliner? Where did my love for Granada come? Where did your love from Granada come from? Says CUB. It came from when I first started playing Europa Universalis 3, and I looked at the map from the start menu, and I found this little country shoved in between a bunch of giants, and I'm like, that looks like a damn hard place to play. And of course, I started reading about the history, and I've always kind of been interested in places that were very small but very tall. And so, like, I always was interested in like Pergamon and Syracuse and antiquities and Florence, and Granada was his fiance. He never got over. Yeah, Neoliner. I think the most pain you could suffer is around 25, and that's like might happen to you once in 500 years or something. But I was like playing the David versus the Goliath, and the David's able to punch above his weight, that type of thing. So just like I like I like Trebizond as well for the same reason, because they're pretty highly developed, but they're fighting an uphill battle. Jesus, Ottomans. I thought they were slowed down a bit. They'll stop. After this war, I think they'll probably stop and digest a bit. Hungary is a good place, a good safe place to play, except that they're right next to the Ottomans. Yeah, I'd appreciate that, Neoliner, because it could possibly be a bug, as far as I know. Tips for Trebizond. Oh man, ally with Georgia, and ally with the Romans, and try to strike a blow against the Ottomans before their rampage is over, while they're fighting somebody else. Best advice I can give you. Sometimes the Ottomans will end up fighting a coalition that can beat them but not dismantle them, and that can be a good time to strike. Hungary could ally Byzantium and ruin Otto's day. Yeah, they could. Ottomans aren't that strong right out the gate. It's just they're in a highly Balkanized area, and so they can rampage pretty easily. Okay. It's fun watching. It's really fun watching observer games when you're a modder, and you've changed quite a bit about the world, and you're seeing how things are playing out. It's a lot of fun. I like it. So there's almost an addictive quality about it. I think the Ottomans are going to chill out for a while. And they're going to rest. That's KJ had programmed them to do. They're great predators. Question is, let's see, their stability isn't that great. Their manpower is awful. They should be dishing out privileges, but they are not. So why the hell not? This is a good opportunity to test our AI thingy. I just don't remember to what extent. Okay, we had finished. Okay, so they should be giving privileges to the greater nobles, but they're not. So why the hell not? They should have given the privilege to them a long time ago. Did not happen. Let's see here. AI is going to be even worse in in the build we just released. So I really need to flesh out all of these state interactions. Okay, are you shameful? You sure shouldn't be. No, you are not shameful. That's good. That's working as intended. So they are below 30 loyalty right now, but they should have given a privilege way before they got to that point. Because first off, they are a great predator, which weighs on the decision making significantly. Or at least they should be. Let's see, great predator. Great predator plan set. Yes, so privilege GN base giveaway. Privilege GN giveaway 5.957. Why? If loyalty is between that and that. Okay, so this has been true. Let me get my calculator out real quick. So when they were at like 35 loyalty, oops, no, don't open my Slack. All right, so when they were at, let's say they were at, let's be conservative, 0.4. That would be 2.5. I may need to up this a little bit. All right, so 2.5 so far. If low stability, they didn't have low stability, so they don't have as much reason. If not many privileges. So this is where they should actually have quite a bit, where they should rack up quite a bit. Privilege GN base. Let's see what their privilege GN. Oh no, that doesn't necessarily matter. It's privilege GN already granted. Yeah, okay. Privilege GN. Aha! Okay, this is busted. This is not working. It should be working. So, 1. No reason why that shouldn't be set properly. If GN base is not 45, which it is not, privilege GN base, then divide by privilege GN base. No. No, that's not. Okay, so this calculation's wrong. At some point I edited it and didn't do my due diligence. So 0.1 is being added, and that's not what should be added at all. We set the base to 50 maybe. Yeah, actually that could be viable. 50. We don't want them handing out privileges too frivolously, but so someone like the Ottomans who are great predators, when they're in great predator mode, we want them to eat like crazy. And if they have low privileges, they might as well give out the privileges, use that loyalty to fuel their conquest. And after they've eaten a whole lot, then they can figure out how to weed out the corruption. 50 divided by 10, that would add 5. And that should be sufficient. Okay. Let's try now. First off, let's see if we can load a little ways back here before they got negative loyalty. Okay, that's perfect opportunity to offer a privilege up. Of course, we have to reload at this point. Make sure I'll have it. Shouldn't break anything along the way. Okay, let's give it a shot. Oh yeah, I should catch up with comments and stuff. Uh-oh, we have 2 moderators at the moment. Within all reason, yeah, the Mamluks could, but they started out super corrupt, whereas the Ottomans are the opposite. Brandenburg, I know, is big. Do you know who's working on institutions? Malorn is working on institutions. Thanks, Nitzar. Pretty sure yours and your team's work. Keep it up. Hopefully we can keep it up. Is colonized land still incapable of supporting any life? Sorta. I'm kind of hoping to fix that before official release. It could be a monumental pain in the ass, and I consider a fully functional AI in Europe and the old world more important than colonization at the moment. I mean, because colonization still sort of kind of works. So I believe debug is still alive. So yes. Neoliner, your question is it possible to make aggressive expansion scale by how much urbanized the province is? Nope. We have like no way to mod aggressive expansion whatsoever except for aggressive expansion impact. Yeah, I gave like 98. Well, I might. Yeah, maybe not really my area as far as the aggressive expansion you get from, how much, right, aggressive expansion impact based on what you're conquering. I'm not really sure how to answer that one. Why are you able to seize land from vassals without a time limit between seizures? I will ask whether that's a bug or not. Is it supposed to be possible to seize land from vassals with no cooldown? Alright, let's see. Moderator fight. Moderator fight. Okay. Surbad, is pop global AI decisions your baby? It's one of them. I have lots of babies. So, for instance, my baby, my baby, my baby, my baby. 1/3 my baby. My baby, my baby, my baby, my baby, my baby. Parentage is in question. Parentage is in question. My baby, my baby, my baby, my baby. KJ's baby. Flopsy's baby. Desimon's baby. My baby, my baby. Oh no, that's KJ's baby. My baby, my baby. No, that's KJ's baby. My baby, my baby. Cardinal's baby. My baby. Desimon did some child rearing there. He's the uncle of the plague. He's Uncle Nurgle. My baby, my baby, my baby. Forum guys, baby. Flopsy's baby. My baby, my baby, my baby, my baby. My baby, my baby, my baby, my baby, my baby, my baby. My baby, 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 my baby. Somebody else's baby. Late game institution spreads a little bit funky. Strategos. Ellie is the baby of technology. Yes, Surbad, it is. Yes, it is an issue. We should hotfix that for sure. It would be happening every 3 years. Yeah, that was unfortunately an active development thing that needed to. I had actually left it like that so I could fire it for testing purposes, but it was left on. So it'll annoyingly cause the menu to pop up, but. That's something I need to test right now, actually. Oops. Events. Let me figure out what results I'm expecting. So I'm anticipating that a bestow privilege event should fire. But I don't think I've gotten there yet. Alright, so I've gotten to the weighted section where it's calculating weights, but now it actually needs to fire something. What I can do in the meantime, save. Now, let me go a little further here. Save. Privileges. GN. Already granted weight. Okay, so GN give weight. Yeah. So, right, the Ottomans would give weight now. But you know what? Demand support. They should also be demanding manpower if they need it. So I need to include that with all of these as well. Yuck. Okay. Which means I have to go back to the drawing board and do some more revisions here. I feel like I'm on the right track though, which is good. Yeah, sir, bad. I know where the line. Yeah, it's the. I can point it out to everybody too. That's the AI segment. Okay. The request manpower part is especially important. It's got to add weight appropriately. The Ottomans right now, what is their average revolt risk? Not very much at all. Way overextended. Jesus. I guess not too bad. They still have, yeah, they still got a decent amount of manpower. What was I looking for again? Oh yeah, I was. I have one actually. I made a Discord server. Yeah. So if anyone can think of why I might need to use it, then let me know. Currently also working on a Twitch account, formalizing a nicer YouTube channel. I'm getting some some graphics and stuff like that made from the Gaming Rebellion, and yeah, generally just professionalizing this whole thing as far as the new game developer is concerned, and all the streaming. Yeah, Selder, I'm wondering about that. Like with Discord, like I would imagine you can only have so many people like yammering in a channel, you know? Like it would make sense to want to get the moderators in there, but yeah, we can use Discord for the MP match after formal release. And I'd like to get as many of you guys into the game as possible if you have decent computers and decent connections. That could be a lot of fun. Oh yeah, and there's Quentin. Hello, Quentin. Um, we'll have to figure that out, Silder, the MP match. I know it'd be brutal for people at night, but it's also the only reliable time I'd really ever be able to do an MP match, which would suck for everyone in the other hemisphere. Yeah, had a great Memorial Day. Thanks. Yeah, I'll consider Discord. It may be really distracting for for like a modding period because like I do still want to get work done. Um, I'm on the east coast of the United States. Yes, CUB. The MP game, I imagine, could plausibly get started in late June. I want to officially launch the new game developer first, though. And the MP match can kind of be a good opportunity to possibly get some more subscribers for YouTube and to launch an official Twitch stream. Because that would be no one on Twitch. I'm never going to get a lot of viewers on Twitch modding a game like this. Um, but having, regular MP games and stuff like that could conceivably be a better way to get more viewers in. So, okay, so let's see. I gotta work in Manpower. Hmm. Where was it? Where was I making that check? Yeah, Corvée weight. Here we go. There should have been a bunch of these. Oh yeah, they go to check. Else this, else this, else this. So what I need to do is I need to then calculate manpower weight. There's surf weight here. Yikes. So I need something like this for manpower weight. May not have to be as complicated. So soy, I'm not fixing a bug right now. I'm working on the AI for all you others as well. I did a whole bunch of other work, a bunch of other bug fixes. I integrated. Oh, guys, great bug fix. Yeah, I'm teaching AI to use the states. Great bug fix. You remember that bug where the burger estates were randomly disappearing from places? That's 98% fixed now. So states shouldn't disappear. They were never disappearing to begin with. They were just losing their thing. So there wasn't. The states were still there. They were just hidden. But that's mostly fixed for now. Took me like freaking half the afternoon. But... All right. So now I need the AI to look at manpower as a consideration when it comes to revoking privileges. All right. So. Hi. Let's make a template here. What even matter? Right. So we want it to be between this loyalty interval because we don't want to be handing out privileges specifically for the sake of getting manpower if we can just do it without giving out a privilege. That's a total waste. So we don't really want unrest here. I guess stability isn't really relevant either. Demian, I'm still getting plagues after 1650. Really? Are you sure? They're not like old events or something? Anyone else getting plagues after 1650? Yeah, once Spain gets their new world gold, they'll be pretty beefy. Okay, yeah, sure. Can you give a screenshot? Elizabeth, it'll be pictures worth 1,000 words. You know what they say. Yeah, as far as the multiplayer game goes, the rules will likely be that everybody plays a small country, small to medium-sized country. So like, Tlemcen, Granada, Florence, maybe, Provence, Brittany, Navarra, Scotland, those types of small countries. Ottomans are small, bollocks. Romans, I think someone could play the Romans. That would be appropriate. Trebizonds, like Armenia or something. Use the power of trapping the Ottoman armies on an island, yeah. But once they capture the island, though, aren't they not trapped? Because then they own one side of the strait, right? Anyway. Cherokee. Yeah, what else? Of course, anyone in the Holy Roman Empire. Except for, like, Bohemia and Brandenburg or whatever. Oh, okay, right. Okay. Okay. I got that. Focus. Sure. Manpower weight. How much cash does the manpower aspect take up? First off, bunk. State interactions. Six. Manpower. Actually, I'm stupid. First off, that's revoke privilege. Second off, I can just check because they have no manpower. One year of income. Only request manpower every 10 years. So, only if they have at least 1 year worth of cash. Sacred and Noble's weight must be 05. And not if they have already requested manpower. There we go. not be necessary. Yeah, Selder. I'm looking. So we have 9 messages per minute, and if we assume that each one of those people is speaking for 10 seconds each, then we literally have people talking over each other. And so I'm trying to figure out. I just feel like it's going to be a constant distraction. I can pretty easily just turn over here and see what people are saying when I want to and be able to maintain my concentration while I mod. I'm going to try to get state corruption into the full release strategos. The problem is I need to be able to teach the AI to know when to sufficiently fight corruption before I start piling it on. That's the main concern here. True. Yeah, I'll work on setting something up like that, Seller, and have a channel for like my own private channel. Moderators can pop in and be like, "Hey, Demian, this one person has a really important question. Go over there and check it out." Something like that. And everyone else can have a chat, a channel to talk or whatever. Yeah, that could be a good idea. That could be good. Yeah, it'll be like any TeamSpeak server or Ventrilo server, whatever. All right, so Manpower given. Here we go. Don't need Unrest. It's a lot of fracking triggers here. Isn't checked too often though, so not a big deal. Manpower percentage needs to be below 75. Whoops. I did undo. There. And we can save here too. Okay. All right, so now we have to set this weight. Privilege manpower weight. Maybe a default of 0. We have to decide when to request manpower. So if they fall to 25%, so if they do not have 0.5, then change variable which equals maybe 1. Don't really needed that badly. Yeah, not Lizzie and the whole Italian power thing. Totally not my thing. Um, so it belongs to somebody else. It'll have to be something asked in the general forum. I know it's kind of old too. Yeah, it does kind of become a moot point once you unite Italy or whatever. So yeah, Selder. The malices to the Romans have been removed as far as the military stuff, and then the bonus that the Ottomans had to their military tradition has been removed as well. So the Ottomans still have the Sultan of the Rum bonus, which represents historically the fact that lots of other Beylik soldiers were rallying to their banner to, you know, go invade the Balkans and everything after Oran and Osman. But other than that, so yeah, you should plausibly be able to fight their armies, especially if you catch them after a disease outbreak on a fort or something like that. Okay, so manpower percentage, and then let's do this again. If it is 25, oops, why don't I just add another one? If at war, maybe. Well, let's not make this so obvious here. Limit is at war. Yes. Then you definitely want to getting extra, and then of course if limits not manpower percentage equals 0. Oh no, that doesn't make any sense. If it is not 0.05. Then dude, get some manpower. Don't matter. So the idea is, if your manpower is at 0 and you're fighting a war, you need that manpower. As a matter of fact, let's do this. Let's make it like pretty unambiguous. There. Yeah, Quentin, that was my mistake. And I committed it. And what's stupid is I asked in Slack and they're like, no, that's meant to be there. And then, I don't know, I guess I forgot to put it back or something. Normally, yeah, it was unfortunate that like the next beta release was like in the middle of an American holiday, you know. Because normally what I would do is I would take some time before the release and go through everything to make sure everything was working properly, there weren't any bugs. Um, But the whole weekend was basically either rushing around with my business, trying to make sure all of our work was done, so that you know because we wouldn't be able to get into all the places that we needed to get into once the holiday hit, and then all weekend is barbecues and stuff like that. So, hello, Gislian Boucher. Oh, thanks, Gislian. Been enjoying the book. Luis, I'm a marine biologist. I work with aquariums, so like specifically living ecosystem aquariums, which surprise, that's why I like working with population data and stuff like that too. Um, aquarium. We create living reefs and living ecosystems inside of a tank with high species diversity and stuff like that. Um, so this type of thing, not one of our tanks, but they look similar, that type of thing. Except this tank, I think, looks a little sterile. It's got some nice corals and a good bit of fish, but um, as they say, nature abhors a vacuum, and the walls of this aquarium are too clean. Anyway. Aquarius. Thanks, Ray. The amount of work that went into this mod is unreal. Yeah, it's an old mod, man. It's been around a long time. All right, so we have. Okay, so here's a modding question, guys. What other conditions would you say needs to go into this consideration about manpower, other than simply not having enough manpower and being in a war? Why else would you necessarily want to request manpower? Is Hawaii part of the HRE? Do we just need to make an event to just not make them part of the HRE? Yeah, I don't see them being part of the HRE. See, but if there's overextension, it actually makes it. Yeah. I know, because overextension percentage, avoid disasters. Because here's the. Peasants' War. Good idea. That may be. Yes, a Peasants' War. That could actually be very important. It's the only time you're going to want to demand. Here's the thing. The only time you're ever going to be making the check is when you have low manpower as is, right? So you can see it already requires that you have low manpower. I guess has disaster Peasants' War. It's Peasants' War. Yeah, but what's the name of the actual disaster? I haven't done much with disasters lately, so it's a bit foggy in my memory. Disaster. Peasant War. So this is called Peasants' War. Let's see. What am I thinking of? I think Peasants' War. I need a list of triggers. Disaster. Has any disaster? No. Has disaster progress? What does this value mean, though? Is 100? 100%? Well, okay, so if limits has disaster peasants or disaster progress peasant war. Oops. I think it's called peasant war, right? Peasants, plural. Okay. Peasants war. Okay, up here. Peasant war is pending, then probably shouldn't be playing around, so I'm gonna weight it pretty high. Oops. Okay, so even if it's just 10, and put it at high priority. Okay. It should be good. People are stupid. My pet peeve is processes pronounced as if it rhymes with thesis. Prosthesis? What? Never heard anyone do that. You guys still talking about aquaria versus aquariums? You know what? I'm not even gonna call it an aquarium. I work on fish tanks. I put the water in the tank, and then I'll put the fish in the tank, and then the fish that swim around, and people they give me money. That's the way we do it in America. Making our fish tanks. Yeah, Andrew, maybe you aren't at plentiful manpower modifier, but at peace, so you're missing out on production efficiency. Yeah, you're not missing out on that much. I mean, because loyalty is loyalty. Loyalty is its own cost. So, all right. I mean, any amount of progress should prompt a request. Not necessarily. I mean, it's. I suppose. Remember, this is what determines whether you are willing to give out a privilege so that you can specifically use this particular interaction. So, let me see here. There. So it's a little stricter. When we do these later, we're going to have these same types of things, but for just straight up demanding support. And in that regard, we can just have like, oh, any proximity to peasant war? Okay, boom, manpower. That's not a problem. But here, are you willing to give up a privilege specifically so that you can demand manpower? And if there's no guarantee that you're getting a peasants' war, then you want to be a bit scrupulous about when you hand out that privilege. Yeah, it's pretty significant silver. Out of my control, though. It's not my. As far as the prestige and legitimacy for unlawful territory, negative 0.5 per province. Yeah, it's not. I don't do the HRE stuff. Ooh, I gotta catch up. Is it really lost through gold? Context provides the rest of the war is. Okay. You guys are. Yeah, I see. You people in your words. Okay. Okay, so from now on, I'm just gonna. If someone has something to say to me, just do the @Demian thing, and that way I don't get bogged down in discussions about the nuances of the English language. Exactly. Yeah, there's this old joke. What do you call someone who speaks just one language? American. That's basically me. So people are talking about languages and stuff. I'm just like, like gendered nouns. What are you talking about? Okay. If you guys are gonna live in the chat room there, learn to speak the language. All you illegal aliens in my chat room, I'm gonna call the immigrations and customs enforcement on all you aliens. Okay, so we now have manpower calculated. Privilege manpower weight. Now we have this little annoying thing we gotta do here, where we have to add it in to all the calculus. All right, so if oops. If GN corvée weight is bigger than all of these, then privilege GN give weight is modified by corvée weight. And then this country flag is set. Or else this check here is made. And then there. So if privilege GN special taxes weight matches these guys, then change the weight by special taxes. Privilege demand loan soon is set. But if it doesn't, if any one of these is bigger than this, then we move to this, which needs to be something like this. So we need surf weight. Oops. Some distance between us here. Manpower. No, we want. No. I guess we do want surf weight. Yeah, surf weight. We don't want surf weight. We want loans, taxes. There. Boom, boom, boom. But that failing, then we need manpower, privilege, demand, manpower soon. All right, looks good to me. Okay. This is a perfect opportunity to. Okay, so theoretically, this should register on the Ottoman's radar. So now, whoops. That was somebody else's Twitch page. Oh man, there's so many foreign words in my chat. Moderators, enforce English. I command you. I'm waiting. Oh, what an awful place to live. No more foreignish. Let's see. Google Translate vet a la verga. Let's see. Google Translate. Google Translate. Go to the dick. Okay, I'm going to assume that's not a perfect translation, but it gives me a general idea. I think someone needs to ban that. What's that guy's name? Luis? All right. Ban. Okay, I know you didn't mean it, but I've been eyeing my D20 here. So let's have some fun. I know you didn't mean it, but Luis, you've just caused a significant distraction. So for fun, let's see. A nat 1, a critical failure, will result in a ban. All right. So actually, I need some light. All right, critical failure, or let's just say a timeout. How about that? Timeout. Okay. Let me get my thing up here. Okay. Dun, dun. So we see the dice. Inversion. God damn it. Yeah, there. And 12, you're safe. Too bright. All right. You're off the hook this time. I'll be good from now on. Okay. Okay, so now we are going to fire this event and try to assess if it's running properly. Apparently I broke it. Cool. So how did I break it? Oh, parsing issue, of course. Oh, you know what I need? It's gotta be a D20 generator. Something fancy though. Yeah, fancy. Yeah, while we're waiting for it to load up. D20 modern character generator. Online dice roller. Yeah. Roll. We have percentiles too. I like it. Okay. Nothing quite like doing hours of homework while watching Deming Code MT. Yeah, the studiousness and diligence hopefully rubs off. Okay. Alright, let's unpause, get a little distance. Okay, let's see if it works. It was in quasi-operable condition earlier. So hopefully. Okay, privilege GN giveaway 10.857. Yeah. Seems like awful loyalty really should. Not necessarily. GN Manpower weight is just one? Really? Yeah, I guess so. Loyalty weight. Alright, Great Predator should be 3. Alright, let me account for all the math here. Alright, so GN already granted weight, so hardly granted any, so 5 plus excuse me, plus GN loyalty weight 2.857 plus 3. Okay, so there's a slight bug. Technically, manpower should be should be inducing. Right, so I need. This should. Duh. So for some reason, this is not being added. And it should be. So if this is not true, change variable. So this flag should theoretically be there. And it is not. In some countries it is. So something's missing. Other calculations are coming through fine, but loyalty is so bad, it should play a bigger role at the moment. 35 loyalty. Oh, anyway. Let's see. Manpower, disaster progress. Okay, so this is where we got the variable, change variable. Ah, crap, Quentin, that could also be... Could that be related to this right here? No, it couldn't be. Did you tag switch Quentin at any point? By any chance? Oh no, I know what the problem is. Oh, god damn it, because policies are assigned from this event as well. So it's assigning you policies the way that the AI assigns itself policies. So, no, you're not tag switch, but it's because of this right here. No, oops. And that really is annoying because it's going to be giving everyone policies now. It's going to be giving everybody stability policies now, whether they want it or not. So you can't force an AI to take a policy. What you can do is give them a modifier that's similar to that policy, and then take away the monarch points all at once. So yeah, you're being assigned policies because that's what's the that's what the algorithms say you should take. But hold on a minute. Every country. No, because this was never. Was this disabled too? It might have been. I don't think so though. I guess so. Yeah, fighting. Yeah, it was enabled. So, darn. If you can disable that AI only thing, or you reactivate it, then it'll prevent it from happening. Now to figure out why manpower is not being added. It's upfront. It's an upfront cost. So you already paid for it technically. I just sucked it out when you weren't looking. Sorry. Quentin, he's talking about the AI fix, the AI equals yes fix. On line 591 of Pop Global AI Decisions, there's supposed to be a segment that's supposed to say AI equals yes, but it's currently commented out with one of these doohickeys. Right? Oh, this is annoying. So why is it not being added? Let me do my math again. Oh no, wait, but it didn't add the flag. It should add the flag because it's the only one that's there. There's no privileged G on special taxes. So are my if else's? Am I improperly using if else? Still getting used to it. So if limits, any of these are true. Well, no, it should work because some countries did in fact end up with this flag. So the code theoretically works. So SBD, who are you? SBD. Tag SBD. Tag SBD. Tag SDD. Sarabara. Sharabara. There we go. And apparently your manpower is horrible. But apparently not, because your manpower looks fine to me. WTF. You should not have that makes no sense. Privileged GN surf weight. Oh, I'm stupid. I'm very stupid. Demi, what's your favorite nation in this mod? What nation has your team put the most effort into? So those are two different questions, I guess you could say. Yeah, I derped this up right here. Yeah, Granada. I tested off of Granada the most. And, a major driving force for like making the whole pop overhaul mechanics and everything was so that resolution for countries and granularity for countries like Granada would be better represented. Because in vanilla, Granada is just kind of like, their economic power isn't really represented, Hey, I play Trebizonds. I play, let's see, what else do I play? I play Provence. I play, let's see, who else do I play? I play lots of countries. Hafsids are fun. Sicily's fun. Yeah. I don't like playing any of the big countries. It's boring. Mazovia is kind of fun. Let's see. Yeah, that makes sense. Burgers should invest in farming efficiency. We need something for them where they can invest directly in farming efficiency if they're not spamming buildings constantly. Oh wait, let me fix my damn event here. Hold on. Okay, so I know what the problem is here. It's really, really obvious. So first off, change this back. I totally apparently was just not paying attention. I need another else inside. Oops. So else. So this is not true, then I do another else, which looks like this. Except instead of privilege surf, I need manpower. Ta-da. And then derp. There. No. Yeah. There. This should be sufficient. I hope. I mean, header revolutions work in the late game. Team overhauled the mechanic. No, we haven't gotten to that point yet of really overhauling revolutions. I mean, we have like plans for it, but we haven't really got that far. Yeah, Alex, Sicily is so much fun because they can just go pirating all over the place. Can flood protections only slightly mitigate damage, or do they get better over time? They can get better the more it gets invested in. But you're destined to have floods, no matter how good your flood control is. Okay. Let's restart. See what we get. Damn, sleepy. Floods. Yeah. So Alex, floods were KJ's domain. He's kind of gone now. At some point, we'll probably need to come up with some better descriptions and localization. Possibly a more organized system. We'll have to see. All right. Firing. Just do that. Okay. Now, let's take a look. Check the flag. Yay! Privilege demand manpower soon. It'll probably work this time. Privilege manpower weight. Yes, privilege GN gib weights. So we are good. We got that part in. It's working fine. Now, I'm going to buff some of this weight. I'm going to loyalty. If loyalty is bad, increase weights. If limits loyalty is not above 4. Let's fatten the weight up a bit. Change variable, which equals privilege G and loyalty weight. Change it by 1 more. And we're even lower. Is that good? Yeah, I guess that's good enough. Maybe 1.5. Nah, this one's fine. Yeah, gold mattress, late game institutions are messed up at the moment. Okay. So it would appear this is all working appropriately. Yay. So I figure out. Let's figure out if they have to give out a privilege. Who do they give that to? Fire privilege givingness events. Okay. Not overthink it right now. Go simple. Expand on it later. 002. Offer privileges. Yeah, gold mattress. I had a special event I made to find the total population of the world. There's nothing currently in game. It would make sense if I did make a little button or something, but never got around to making it, presentable. So there's no current way to fetch the total population of the world in game. I actually do a little AI factoring later on once I have time. Sure, Beth, that's a good question. They do, from my understanding, yeah, it goes to the overlord and they use the overlord's policy because it ends up Well, I think doesn't it? Well, when so here's the thing. I think doesn't immediately flip the occupation to the overlord. If that's the case, the event registers that it was captured by the overlord, and then yeah, I think we tested it at some point. I think one good way to test it, if someone wants to test it for me, is to declare a war with a vassal swarm like France. Let your vassals swarm over some small country like ants over a carcass, and then see if your loot goes up. Okay. Let's test it. Direction. So now we're going to test whether country events ID. All right. Let's see if they give out that privilege as they are supposed to. So first off, let me save here. Looting Naples, my favorite pastime. DG Turmoil. Let's see. And I like getting an ulcer as soon as I think of DG. Heresy ends peacefully. And answer your question, Quentin. Ta-da! Works. Now, let's see. 2 privileges. We're gonna go to Hungary or something. Fire that event. Head back to the Ottomans and see if they've dished out a privilege. Yeah, they have. Their loyalty is better. Their stability is better. All around happiness. Apparently, it's a hidden effect, so you didn't see anything, but something was happening. Yeah. It's DG. DG. GG. Okay. God, this is taking a long time, but it is necessary to really make the AI competent when it comes to doing these types of things. Okay, so they were able to God, so all of this was just for teaching the AI whether to give a privilege out. Oh wait, this too. Demi, do you think you could add in some kind of system use missionaries when you can't convert provinces? Like improve religious relations? That would be pretty cool. Or attempt to convert minorities. You can already use them to attempt to convert minorities. Okay, question now is should I go on or should I end this stream? Oops. I've been at it for like 3 hours. Only got 37 people watching now. Feel I've at least got something done. What I would need to do from here on out actually is son of a bitch. Yeah, I'm gonna call it for now, guys, and go to sleep. Just because I'm getting kind of tired, and I figure my productivity is gonna be worse. Maybe I'll get up a little earlier before the girls get out and get a cup of coffee, round out some of this. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Before I do, I gotta add a description to this video. Fixed a few more bugs. Discovered how we blew up the last patch. Pretty much finalized the AI's considerations for dishing out greater null privileges, which will serve as a template for other states as well. Yay. Okay. Good night. I'm gonna try and do Discord. I'll figure it out. But you know, setting up these things always takes time. So, you know, my main priority right now is trying to get everything in shape for when we actually release formally on Steam Workshop. What happened to the 7 hours long streams? Yeah, what happened was I am no longer on vacation. All right, but anyway, maybe streaming a bit tomorrow. If the grandparents come by and watch the kids. Finished most of my big work last week, so might start streaming around 9:30 tomorrow morning Eastern. Thanks, Jacob. You said great work. I've been playing EU4 for a long time, and MET 2.0 is absolutely amazing. The work you and the crew has done is crazy. Yeah, it really makes me want to keep working on it, but we'll see. All right, see you guys. It was fun as always. Oh, 9:30 a.m. By the way, so bad. I'm gonna try and get about 5 hours of modding in, and then maybe at night. It depends. All right, Quentin. See you guys.